So, at yesterday's press conference, Dara Waves inquired about three questions from the Vice President, which I think is relevant. First question concerns the United States Bank, Exim Bank. The government is saying they're going to get this loan. I think Jagosi is as low as 660 million US. That's for the gas to shore project. Then Shabal was querying about the status of that loan. The second question was the ongoing feud between Melissa Atwell, who's here in New York, and the Attorney General Anil Nandlall, because as we can all see, especially on Facebook, Atwell is accusing the AG of making certain allegations, and Dennis wanted to know what is Jaguar's position on these allegations. Jaguar says that he has full trust in his Attorney General, and for now, probably until further notice, that's the way it's going to be. But as I see it here right now, the Ghanaian critic is in New York, here, to see if he can gather evidence against and for a lot of these contenders, whose names I would not call, but the critic's purpose, and I understand it's the second time he's here in the United States. But he's here to do certain investigate purposes, and I guess it's interesting times ahead. The third question Dennis inquired of the VP is why is the Guyana police force haven't given a meaningful press conference for the last 2 years, despite you have a lot of murders, a lot of robberies, a lot of stuff, a lot of crime is going on. Jago says that he doesn't know why they haven't held a press conference in the last 2 years, and if I remember, the Ghanaian police force supposed to be having a full-blown press section, and that includes Mr. Stan Govaya, who I saw graduated from the University of Guyana, because I saw Big Smith was advertising. I don't know what degree he got, but he has the police press department is fully staffed with these guys who I guess are getting a lot of money. And it's strange to know that it's unbelievable to know that there no press conference in 2 years. And you have people like Stan Gavaya and a couple other names I can't remember, I recall right now. Jago said he's going to look into it, he's going to make inquiries. He said that he doesn't normally deal with the Ghanaian police force on a daily basis. He says the only time he might try to get some answers is if somebody probably has some racial discrimination matter or any other such matters along that line. So it's not me just putting these words. These are the views of the Vice President.
Sir, just a clarification on the U.S. Exim Bank's decision. Can you say, sir, first of all, whether it will be for the same amount of money that we've applied for, and also, given the fact that the Guyana government has been plowing in some of its own resources, what will be the extra money, so to speak, be used for? And secondly, as General Secretary of the PUP and as Vice President of Guyana, in light of the claims being made by Melissa Atwell, do you still have absolute and total confidence in Mr. Nandlall as both AG and as an executive committee and central committee member of your party? And thirdly, I will leave it there for today. To what extent is it appropriate for the police force, top brass, to not have held any press conference for 2 years when there have been abductions, high-profile armed robberies, and other violent crimes?
And okay, so the first question is the amount. No, the amount will not be $260 million. It will be less than that, and it will only cover exports out of the United States of America. So it would be upwards of $500 million, upwards of $500 million. Huh? No, not the full sum. The loan will also provide retroactive financing. So if the loan is made available, it will cover financing that the government of Guyana had to make during the period since the project started. So that's in relation to the two issues that you raised. I don't deal with the police force routinely, only if there is an issue that involves, like someone comes to complain about issues in the police force, etc., or discrimination or anything of that sort. I try to address that. And I don't know what reason, if this was a routine press conference that they used to hold in the past, I can't imagine why they would not do it. And so I'm going to find out why they have not held a press conference to address concerns in the media, because I think they have a great story to tell about all the changes that we've been making. And I think they do need to tell that story about the growth in capability of the police force, the massive investments in training and tools available to the police to better conduct their work. They should talk a bit more about the growth in the capability of the police force as it relates to technology in the use and to fight crime, particularly cameras and the command centers and how this feeds into their crime fighting activities. They should talk a bit more about their capabilities to investigate and solve crimes through the forensic lab that is operational. They have a lot to speak of. And in spite of what you mentioned about the cases that they've had a few cases of kidnapping and maybe some other violent crime, I think they have done a fairly decent job. They can talk about traffic and what we're doing too, because that's a sore point now in the country. It's becoming a major issue about the use of the roads and the callous way that people have been using the roads, many people, and the need for stronger enforcement. The laws are there, but we need to have stronger enforcement. But they should be able to tell the public through a press conference what they're doing and how they hope to tackle this, particularly with these trucks on the road, and how they're ensuring that the people who are driving these trucks, that they are properly trained and they don't, even if some of them are foreign nationals, I gather some are foreign nationals who are being brought by some companies who have large contracts here to work, so they should be properly trained to use our roads. They should all of these things can be dealt with there. So I don't see any reason why they should not be doing this, but I'll find out why. And on the issue of these allegations, I don't pay too much attention So, on verified allegations. I myself have been subjected to this for years. For the past 20 years, I've had to fight off all sorts of things. Or I led a government that used to, that's what they said, to exterminate young Afro-Guyanese men. Up to now, you heard what I started my press conference. They persist in telling that lie. Until now. 2, that I own the Marriott. Up to recently, that's been in the newspaper. 3, that I owned an aircraft, one of these commercial airlines. 4, I practically own everything in this country. It has been a long haul for me. So when I get verified info, and we have our means of verifying information too, that's when we act on them. But so far, I've not dealt with any unverified information. There's no way of proving these matters. If they're solid proof, that's a different matter. But as of now, Anil Nandlall enjoys my confidence as General Secretary of the party.